Today's EV news, folks, is by far the biggest shocker we have seen in a very, very long time. Volkswagen, which is by far the biggest automotive group on planet Earth, has decided to do the unthinkable. In an effort to re-accelerate its growth in the Chinese EV market, they've decided not to spend billions of dollars on introducing new products. Instead, they're taking the route that no other legacy automaker has ever done so far in the automotive space as big as Volkswagen. And that is acquiring a competitor for a significant bargain. And this time around, folks, that competitor just happens to be one of the fastest growing EV startups in mainland China. Xpeng Motors just happens to be one of those overlooked EV companies that has struggled to sell and grow over the past 12 months, even though its product offering is extremely good and its innovation is still at an all-time high. Not only does Xpeng have the only self-driving license that is legally required in China, beating those likes of Tesla, but they also just happen to launch one of the best value vehicles on the market that beats the likes of the Tesla Model Y in basically every spec. And that competitive advantage, paired with the fact that Xpeng is one of the cheapest Chinese EV players on the market, with its stock trading at near all-time lows, created a killer combination for someone like Volkswagen to come in and sweep up an extremely lucrative investment opportunity. And that opportunity is exactly what we're going to break down in this video. To kick things off, folks, let's understand the details of this investment pact that they have signed with Xpeng, because although Volkswagen is taking a 5% stake in the business, they're also signing a co-op agreement with the company to help them produce new models for Volkswagen. And that right there, folks, is exactly what makes this deal very, very interesting. Because unlike other acquisitions in the automotive space, where a bigger brand completely acquires a smaller company and leverages their technology to release new products, Xpeng in this case is not getting fully acquired. Instead, they're going to be lending Volkswagen their expertise and their platform to help build them new EVs. This right here is a clear validation of exactly why someone like myself has been investing in Xpeng Motors and the Chinese EV space over the past few years, because clearly they know how to build vehicles at scale, particularly those made with batteries. We've seen time and time again that conventional OEMs have a difficult time pivoting their conventional combustion businesses into electric vehicles, because not only do they have higher debt burdens, but the manufacturing and research process of electric powertrains is miles more complicated and miles different than internal combustion. And Xpeng Motors just happens to be one of the few companies that has mastered both of those pillars. This means that Volkswagen can get a much better return on invested capital by buying a small stake in Xpeng Motors, especially considering the fact that Xpeng's own issues for lackluster sales revolve mostly around marketing and brand positioning and not technology. Say what you will about Volkswagen, but they own more car brands than you can count on one hand, with some of the best profit margins and growth rates in the entire automotive sector. If there's one company on planet Earth that knows how to expand into new markets, capitalize on new innovation, and also fuel a brand image, it's Volkswagen. And although Tesla is undoubtedly the king of the EV transition, Volkswagen comes in a very close number 2 for the traditional OEM market. Almost in line with Tesla's growth, Volkswagen grew EV deliveries in the first half of this year by almost 50%, with them having the number 1 market share for the EV market in Europe. And although this market share is increasing, which is a great sign for this automotive giant, the market share in China, which happens to be the red-hot EV market everybody wants to dominate, is actually going down. Over 77% of all of Volkswagen sales occurred in North America or Europe, with only 19% in 2023 in China, which means their brand image is getting outcompeted by the likes of Tesla, BYD, NIO, Xpeng Motors, and Li Auto. And this right here, folks, is exactly why they're making this new strategic move, which could set the pathway for other OEMs as well in this highly competitive space. Because as we've seen by the likes of GM, Ford, and other automakers like Toyota and Honda, acquisitions might just be the key way that these companies can successfully transition to the EV side. Although these businesses are extremely profitable with internal combustion engines, they need to build the scale in manufacturing capacity as well as brand image for their electric powertrains. And unlike most other OEMs, Volkswagen has been pretty active about its new move in China. They've been tapping many local companies to bolster its strategy and developing autonomous driving technology, which we all know is going to be a key driver of sales in the very near future. They partner with a company by the name of Horizon Robotics Technology, Thundersoft, and Jotian High Tech, which allowed them to leverage new sensors and gathering data for their electric platform. And with Porsche and Audi seeing slumping sales in China since the start of this year, they've also partnered with China's biggest automotive group by the name of SAIC. And the desire to acquire new and upcoming players increases even more for Volkswagen when you account for the fact that the Chinese state government has insane incentives through purchase agreements and new energy vehicle credits that truly allows its automakers to prosper from a manufacturing and sales perspective. And this can't really be said for the US and North American markets, where most purchases from consumers are primarily driven by expenditure, personal consumption, and even creature comforts. Whereas in China, people mostly care about practicality, cost effectiveness, and the ability to build and use an effective infrastructure, which is exactly why it happens to be the most competitive EV market on planet Earth, making it even harder for traditional OEMs to enter the space. And what's more to like is the fact that Volkswagen gets to buy into Xpeng at only $15 a share, with its stock having traded north of 70 not more than 3 years ago. Although in the US many investors stay clear of Chinese companies, especially in the EV space, they happen to be some of the biggest leaders. And it's pretty clear from this acquisition and how the stock has performed over the past few months that the market is quite wrong about that assumption. We've yet to see exactly how these vehicles will turn out between Volkswagen and Xpeng, because we have until 2026 for their joint venture to launch 2 new EV models. But regardless, this is great news for both parties and potentially signals a bigger shift in how the EV industry might work. What do you guys think? Has Volkswagen made the right call with its investment in Xpeng, or is there more to be desired from the world's largest automotive giant? As usual, folks, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.